It is time for more Pokemon Crystal. We are on an island that has a gym. Is there anything else going on here? Oh yeah, this is where we would go pick up the stuff for the Lighthouse Ampharos. Oh hey, I don't even have to beat the gym here if I don't want to. Just in case I get horribly moited by what's-his-name. Which, to be fair, what's-his-name is actually pretty hard, so... Chuck! Right, his name is Chuck. I forgot about that, because I was even thinking about it earlier, and I'm like... I think I just had this brain fart of like, no, that's too silly. He's not named Chuck. No, he's absolutely named Chuck. We can also get a Shuckle on this island from a dude, like, just basically for free. But as much as we all love I almost said as much as we all love Chuckle. Yes, as much as we all love to chuckle, unless your name is Knuckles. Shuckle is not, like, a great Pokemon to use, really. I certainly don't like to use it very much. Shuckle nuts, wow, listen to you. Get a load of this guy. Oh, if I ever have, like, video redeems, the get a load of this guy camera is gonna probably have to be in there somewhere. Anyway, as you probably, guessed by the fact that I'm leading off with Spoon Guy, we are fighting against a fighting-type gym. This first guy's name is Yoshi. And let me tell you, he took a licking. And yeah, of course, this guy's got Hitmonchan to match the other dude's Hitmonlee. Hitmonchan, a Pokemon in this generation that has a lot of moves that it can't take advantage of, and wouldn't be able to until Gen 4. Thank you, stat distribution. Future Sight is an interesting move, but it's a little too unwieldy for our purposes. We like having our 3 elemental punches, and we would like to have a psychic attack that actually does damage right off the hop, so... yeah, I think we're gonna skip that. Birds are useless, huh? Yeah, yours may be, judging by that sort of... His name's Knob. Is anybody in this gym gonna have Hitmontop? Because we had the other 2 guys, but did we have... the spinny guy? Smash Remix update? I did not see that. No, I did not. I don't know much about that subject, period, so... Hey, we beat that guy. Unfortunately, Golbat's happiness is not high enough for us to immediately evolve it into Crobat. Well, that's a shame. But that happens. It feels like happiness is much easier to raise in later generations. Like, we still get some happiness just from walking around, right? And this man's name is Lung. I understand that, like, all of them are obviously intended as not English names, but... it's... There's something rather unusual about it, just because of, like... they try so hard on some level to Americanize some parts of this franchise. like, a bunch of other people in this region all have westernized names that don't make a lot of... any of that. Or you just think about... You just think about, oh yeah, they... Remember when they were changing rice balls to jelly donuts in the anime? And I think that's probably just had a radiating effect of some kind. But yes, if you have knob lung, you should definitely consult a doctor. Unfortunately, that's probably going to end in chemotherapy, which is not fun, but I digress. Wow, that rock just completely disappeared! What? It has nothing to do with Pokemon? That's true! Is this guy just a remnant of Gen 1 Kanto where every single gym leader wants to murder you? They definitely outright banned some episodes that had guns in them in the US, and presumably they did not get carried over elsewhere. Most notably is the Safari Zone episode where Ash caught like 8,000 Tauros or something. Just, you know, start up his own beef industry all by himself. As one does. Yeah, they banned the episode where James had a very prominent chest during his disguise, if I recall correctly. The main episodes that I know of that they banned other than those were... Oh, you jerk. Were, of course, Electric Soldier Porygon, where Porygon had to take the heat for Pikachu blinding every... It wasn't that type of... It was... I guess maybe it could have caused other types of eye damage, but of course it was most infamous for inducing epileptic seizures in people. And of course, they banned the Jinx episode. Which, yeah, I think we're probably okay on that. Because, like, I feel I would call the idea behind that maybe a little ill-advised. Yeah, I'm not gonna delve too much into certainty as to whether or not, with that regard. I'm going to err on the side of, yeah, it probably did. But more notably, I still always think about the fact that Porygon ended up taking the heat for the fact that it was Pikachu's flashing effects that caused problems in the Tron episode. And then they were just like, oh yeah, we cannot put Porygon in this anime anymore. And in fact, I don't even think Porygon got a lot of cards for a while either. Which was a scenario that was, well, very much not like what happened with Kadabra. Hey, green-haired gent. Yeah, thanks for telling me about that. Doesn't one of you have a fly HM? I'm going to be honest with you, I forget. I could swear that episode was banned entirely, but maybe it's like... It was another episode around that period, but regardless of the case, yeah, that one is a thing that does not air on English-speaking television anymore. So, Regardless of any of that, though, yeah, when it comes to any sort of localization thing, you have to be kind of careful and not suck at it, is the big takeaway here. Now, we're going to give Kazooie Fly. There is a chance that's marginally above 0 that we may end up trading Firo out for something else later. Depending on. Depending on if we find good Pokemon, of course, to follow that up. But for now, we are making our way back to Olivine City. And I think we're going to actually take away the EXP share from Supersonic for a bit, and we're giving it to this thing. So that way it can eventually become a real Pokemon. So I'm thinking I might hold off on the next gym, just because actually my party is not well suited to fighting Steel types, to be honest with you. Mostly because, like, okay, Kadabra can Fire Punch a bunch of them. If I don't get one-shots on everything, that thing is going down like a sack of things that go down easily. We're gonna go and we're gonna get the Team Rocket scenario started up, if the game will allow me. Which I believe it will. Because this is still an era where Pokemon games had a little bit of open world design to them. Not a ton, obviously. It's not like Gen 1 where after you got cut, you could just go basically anywhere. Up until you required Surf. You could actually just skip Lieutenant Surge, Erica, and Sabrina until a good long while. Yay, level 21, trying to learn Thunder Wave. Thunder Wave is probably more useful than something on here, right? Yeah, Supersonic, that's not real, come on. That's not an actual move. Don't kid yourself. Right, so let's put Vector at the front of the party to get to level 30 at least. Also, this dude just had his Dragonite actually attack a dude. That's something. Because that guy just said an exclamation point. It's like he spotted somebody in a Metal Gear game. Now, nobody here is going to sell me Jack Diddley shit no more. Anyway, these Persian statues are security devices. That'll summon the cool battle music again. Oh, hey, look, this guy's got Drowsy. I guess at least that's a step up from using just random poison types. Oh, wait, no, he's still got Zubats. Probably just bite it for a kill, even, but we'll secure it with a headbutt. I mean, I suppose so. It's not, like, completely the most unfitting thing. What were you saying? I don't even remember, nerd. Right, yes. Like I said, it's the Tron episode. Yes, yeah, from what I remember, it's possibly wrong, is that I could have recalled that it was like, oh yeah, the rats, like, flashing lightning would, like, exacerbated the effects too, but I could be wrong about that part, and probably am. Right, instead of doing actual work to, like, alter anything, it's just like, oh yeah, we darkened the colors. You could have, like, I don't know, repainted a couple of those frames or something, but that's just me being like, oh yeah, these companies doing real good jobs at any of this. Any of this. Nobody was paying attention at the time, but also, to be fair, this is an era where things were very early when it came to anybody paying attention to anything to do with epilepsy and its results and you know, flashing effects and everything. Think about just how many games we've played on here that definitely have some really aggressive flashing visuals. Like, there's definitely something that I played quite recently that I was like, good lord, that's brutal. Wasn't Super Metroid, was it? Yeah, that was a thing. That was a while ago, though, I think. I don't remember exactly, but yeah, there was definitely something that I played sometime not too long ago where it was like, oh my god, that is absolute murder on the eyeballs. Scientist Jed Clamp at PhD. Hey, Roundy, how's it going? Oh wow, that Drowsy didn't get one shot by that. That must be one with a good stat roll. Listen, I know I'm not good at video games, but I didn't mean like that. Come on. I think it was something in Kirby Superstar, actually, that was, like, really vicious flashing. Yeah, because I'm scrolling through my last plays here. We got Super Metroid Redux. Yeah, Kirby Superstar, obviously, Pokemon Crystal. Prime randomizers. Quest 64 is nowhere near that bad. I mean, aside from that. Prime random, not bad. Kingdom Hearts 2 wasn't even that bad even before the move to the PC version. Could have been Zelda 1 a little bit. Vampire Survivors doesn't count. Somehow Vampire Survivors, even with all of the like crazy ass visuals, is not that bad on my eyes. It might Gex is possible, definitely not Riven. Yeah, like it would have probably was Kirby Superstar that I'm thinking of. Yes, the old spicy chicken costume there, right? I forgot that was a thing until you mentioned it again. And of course, thinking about that reminds me of, like, there was some lady in a chocobo costume in one of the Final Fantasy XIII spin-offs. And I remember thinking that that thing was fucking ridiculous looking, but for completely different reasons, but I digress. We're not here to talk about that. We're here to walk in front of all of the security devices in these Persian statues and fight these dudes. Oh, she's in World of Final Fantasy as well? I getcha. I still haven't played that one, so... Oh, what? No, fuck you. That's not true. You're just making things up to piss me off, aren't you? And it's kind of working a little bit. That's so stupid! Then again, it is 13, so, like... Stupid is kind of the name of the shit here. I don't even know why I'm surprised, dude. God, every day this fucking series, man, just... Why is Final Fantasy like this? Aside from the fact that I think all the guys who had taste left after they stopped letting Amano actually do the original versions of the character designs. Somebody saw what colors they made Eiko's outfit, and everybody was just like, no, fuck this. We're done. We're out. We're not dealing with this company anymore. And that's how you end up with the psychotic monetization that future games have gotten. As I just sit here and think about just think about 14. Ah, yeah, you want to play this game for 2 months? That'll be $30. Before the Purge? Oh god, I forgot. I forgot that there was an event in that storyline called The Purge. Unfortunately, you can't just name something The Purge with no other qualifications anymore, because it just ends up sounding like, you know, a certain movie franchise. And it's just like, oh yeah, this is now like 10 times more stupid than it sounded like in the first place. Yes, these guys have stuffed Geodudes into the floorboards here for some reason. Also, this does immediately remind me that they did print a card for Saz's Chocobo in the recent Final Fantasy expansion for Magic. I don't know anything about the Magic the Gathering. Fuck. I don't know anything about the Final Fantasy trading card game offhand. I just like. But no, they did not give it art related to. The answer is time travel. Fuck you, man. Like. God, I didn't know it was possible for me to think that FF13 and its adjunct games were stupider than I already believed, but here we are. Like, shut the fuck up, dude. That's... I'm so upset now. Like, I'm actually angrier about this than the Fampy that ran away from me yesterday. Like, Wednesday or whenever it was. Oh, hey, look, it's coughing. That's not actually a Geodude. You lied to me, and now I believe in nothing. Get this thing out of here. And before it uses explosion. Or self-destruct, I guess. Yeah, level 30. What? Yeah, there he is. Oh boy. Gator Fridge. Yeah. And now let's put this Golbat up front. For some reason. I'm sure this thing will actually be able to fight anything in this area, right? With its 2 attacks, Confuse Ray and Bite. I can't even get Wing Attack at this point yet. Come on. Speaking of flashing graphics, that's not too extreme, I don't think, but also like, ugh. God damn it, dude. Like, come on. Also, speaking of, it just immediately unconfused. Wow. Coughing, you're a huge bro. And it's using Smog on me for like 2 damage. I was gonna be like, if you somehow poison me, despite the fact that mechanically that doesn't make any sense. It's pretty good. A lot of the back sprites in these Gen 2 games are actually quite good. Which is really something when you consider that a lot of Gen 1 ones are very, very odd. And they get even weirder in Pokemon Yellow because a lot of them are still using the red-blue palettes. But no, this is pretty great. I still really love the one that Kingler has. Unfortunately, I don't think we're going to get to see that this game. But for anyone who hasn't seen it, it's literally just one of Kingler's claws just sticking up. It's like it's doing a periscope thing if you could just see out of the claw. Oh god. Oh yeah, that Golbat is not dead somehow. Amazing. Oh, I ran into so many wild Pokemon on this stretch here. That's... I believe that teleporter just takes us out of the area. That did still do 8 damage. Out of my, like, 16 HPs. I may have to pound a super potion or something here. Actually, Actually, do I even have super potions? I think I just have regular potions now. Oh no, I've still got a super potion that I picked up at some point. Because I am amazingly stingy with items and money in these games. You know, I might need all that money to rebuy the Ice Punch TM a few more times. Oh, he kills me, right? Well, I mean, thank you, dude, but, like, I wasn't expecting you to do that. It's Gen 2, I would expect the dungeons to be as cruel as they possibly can be. Yo, we're getting good RNG on these flinches. Supersonic is out here really trying to impress me, and to be fair, you don't gotta do much work. Oh, really? It's gonna take 2 hits. Or it's gonna take 3 hits. It's gonna live 2 hits. There we go. Listen, it's fine. I'm pretty sure giving a healing item to a Pokemon raises its happiness a little bit. Well, duh, it has to have a password. I mean, what's so duh about that? Oh, hey, look, it's another Golbat. I'm sure we all know how to deal with this. That's right, feed it some of its own medicine. Well, I don't know what I was expecting, but I think it was that, so to be fair... I can't wait for this thing to fucking murder me because of bad RNG. Yeah, see, he even snapped out of his confusion before I could get a hit in edgewise. And that's why we don't bother with feeding him a taste of his own medicine. So here's my big question when it comes to Crystal Legacy. Is how much of an effect does it really have on, like, Pokemon availability in general? Because there are more than 0 Pokemon in Gen 2 that are just, like, not available until you get to Kanto or well past that. Like, I think every Dark-type Pokemon except for Umbreon is legitimately unavailable until you reach Kanto, if I recall correctly. And Umbreon, of course, requires happiness. Yes! That mechanic that we all love. He very graciously told you so. Is that a euphemism for you attempted to assault him, or is that a euphemism for he fucking lied to you? Oh, that sounds actually quite decent. So yeah, definitely doing a lot of the big corrections that I absolutely would want for the game. I mean, what I will tell you is that I have a soft spot for the Johto games, even though ultimately they are pretty jank at times. So that's sort of my vote for not having played it, of like, yeah, that's probably a good idea. Oh god, he used self-destruct. Wow. And he got a kill on me. Wow. Double wow. Oh right, I think the explosion I tanked earlier was from Voltorb or something. Simply counter it. I get you, but also, man, unfortunately we're in Gen 2, huh? Gen 1 Explosion is hilarious, by the way, in case I haven't said that, which I have, but I'm saying it again anyway, guys! Gen 1 Explosion is fucking hilarious. So, in Gen 1, counter damage does not get reset by things like using items, getting fully paralyzed, being asleep, switching, using certain moves. So, one of the cool tricks that you can do is that if you get hit by a normal type attack, or fighting type attack for that matter, in the same turn that you exploded, and then you put in a Pokemon, if your opponent switches against it and you still used counter, you'll counter your own explosion damage. So this ultimately kind of makes like Exeggutor and Machamp one of the funniest possible pairings that you could have in Gen 1. Because it's just like, hey, yeah, you drop Machamp out there, and they're like, oh, yeah, I probably should switch to a thing that can soak low kick, right? And then you hit them with the explosion damage that your egg did, but twice as much. And their Pokemon just evaporates. And it's hilarious. But yeah, I'm going to definitely take a look into grabbing this and at least probably playing it in my own time. Probably not restreaming it, or certainly not right away, because I literally am just playing this right now, so. But yeah, that definitely seems like they retooled things a little bit in a good way, to say it nicely. Oh no, my evasiveness. A thing that's never gonna come into play, really. Anyway, Bootleg Jesse is giving me a password, which part of it is Slowpoke Tail. Well, I would assume the other part of the password is the rest of the Slowpoke, right? What do you mean that's stupid? You're stupid. Okay, yeah, it is kind of stupid, but still. I love this guy. He goes, yuck, yuck, yuck. Hey, everybody, it's Goofy. That's right. I don't know why he joined Team Rocket, but here he is. Fucking YouTube delays. It's also, like, really quiet compared to the game. Oops. So you just barely heard that off in the distance at best? Like, it's just sort of vaguely, like, this weird ghost image that you'd see on a bad photograph. And you're like, what the hell is that? It turns out it was Goofy making the Goofy noise. One of these days I'll have, like, proper sound redeems if I remember. Is the password yuck yuck yuck? Eradicate tail. Ah, yes, I see Team Rocket really enjoys getting some tail. But must be pretty big Gex fans. Yuck, yuck, yuck. Anyway. Yeah, I deserve to not be able to pick that item up. Sorry. You're correct. What can I, like, use here? I suppose I can equip a thing to a Pokemon and just be like, well... Here, you know what? Hold this Paralysis Cure Berry, because paralyzing shows up often enough, and it's really annoying when it does. Oh, this guy seems like a real winner. I don't care if Pokemon get hurt. I love cryptocurrency. Right? That's definitely this dude, right? Now, we're going to exploit Ditto turning into Golbat. Since I have something in my own party that can deal with Golbat decently well, as long as it fights through all the confusion. Oh, that's real damage, but I suppose part of it is probably also that my Golbat is at a level that's more than this Ditto. And since Transform copies exact stats... which is kind of interesting, I think. I mean, it doesn't copy HP, which means that Ditto still kind of gets blown up by anything. I mean, listen, I think that they should bring back copying stats for... And by bring back... Wow, okay, I really fucked that up, I'm sorry. I think they should bring in copying HP with Transform. I think that would make it a more actually usable move. And it would be kind of reminiscent of how they scaled HP with Dynamax stuff. I mean, you could have it just be like, okay, yeah, copy percentage to the nearest rounding correctly. Oh, hey, I wasn't expecting to find that in that big rack of tubes. Whatever that is. I always kind of thought they were like big reel-to-reel tape recorders, you know? But eliminate you, I must. Yes. Yoda, I talk. Alright, you fucking nerd with your Rattata. In before this duder just has 3 Rattatas or something. Oh wow, good job me. I can't even kill a damn rat in one hit. Okay. It's alright, Bite's a special attack. Maybe I should try using Leech Life, which might have some numbers. Hey, it did get the kill! So, despite the fact that Leech Life is like... I think it's literally 15 power. I was gonna say, despite the fact that it has an attack power of 2... which is not quite literal, but God, it really feels like it. I don't think the difference would be anything of note. A single hit of Pin Missile, I think, does less. Just barely. But I would have to go and look that up. Is Pin Missile 14 or is it like 18 or something? About to use Rattata. Yeah, whatever, I'll just... Oh, Pin Missile is... 14 in generations 1 to 5. I saw that it was 25, and I was like, what the hell? You are lying to me. No, 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 they buffed it in Gen 6, which, I mean, good on them, but still. Oh, hey, this dude's got a big blue bird there. Oh, you fucking showed. What are you doing here? Oh, all he does is just sort of try to kick us in the junk and leave. Sure, dude. That's completely normal, non-freak behavior. As we cutscene walk over to this dude. And yeah, there's our tiny little bit of canonicity that we get for this game, which is, hey, Red and Blue took place 3 years before this. I mean, I'm sure that there aren't exactly a lot of people who are paying great attention to anything like plot in a Pokemon game. But it does exist. I do exist. Oh. Santa? Anyway, a little bit of Death Laser will take care of this guy. Oh, sorry, I'm being told through the earpiece that it's called Psybeam. No, I think Death Laser is a little more appropriate in a case like this. About to send in old Big Rat. There he is, the Big Rat who makes all the rules. Nice scary face, dude. Thankfully, my Magnemite is too stupid to be intimidated. Just like me. Oh, come on, dude. At least Hyper Fang has a chance to flinch. You could have pushed me to a point where I used an item. And yet, there you were playing like crap. Real smart. Bucko. Incredible. Alright, what do you got, champ? The password is Hail Giovanni. Alright, well. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about weather, but... Okay. Item? There's our TM46. Well, that's Thief, as was discussed earlier, so... Ultimately, yeah, we could go and... Excuse me. We can go farm up Metal Coat, so that way, in theory, we could eventually get Skizor, but... I don't feel like it. I'm trying to remember if there's... Or like, how to shut off the security system, because I know that teleporter will take us outside. And over here, we've got like 800 electrodes we can go fight. Yeah, you know what? The hell with it. We'll go heal, and we will just have to use the teleporter the regular way. Or go through the... Use the teleporter. Yeah, listen to me. I'm sorry, I'm being stupid. Again. That part of my brain is switched off for some reason. Oh, are these off already? Yeah, these aren't, but... That's alright. It happens, probably. We'll just have to figure out a way to deal with it. And by way to deal with it, I mean just bite this rock. A thing that absolutely works. But yeah, let's trigger these last couple of security systems and go. That's right, just keep chomping on this Zubat until things happen. Yeah, we're getting really good RNG with that. Oh, I can't carry this nugget. Right. Oops. I'm gonna go and dump some crap out of my inventory real quick. I don't suppose you guys are actually gonna sell me shit yet, or are you gonna just continue to complain about the fact that they got busted? Yeah. It's not a real shop anymore. Instead, we'll fly to Goldenrod for a second. There is actually sort of a reason for this. Which is that we go in here. Move our Pokemon without mail. For a second, Kazooie, you're gonna sit in there. Because we can get a free gift Pokemon now, I believe. And it's not just that way I can lengthen my trip back, but I'll deal with that after I dump some items real quick. Yeah, that. Don't really need that. Kiss my ass, guard spec. I think I'm gonna just remember to store my ethers and elixirs next time I go to a PC, because yeah, obviously I don't want to get rid of those, but they're like too precious to use most of the time, so they're gonna just sit around being a trophies. Trophies, yes. I know what I said, and I said it very badly. You are correct. Oh yeah, okay, so this is Bill's house. Do us a favor and take this Eevee. Like, just foist it on us like that, like... Like, here, take this weird animal. I'll nickname it later if we decide to use it. Because, yeah, a couple of evolutions, as we've discussed, have been pretty good throughout the series. But also, I'd have to decide what I do with it, so... For now, we're doing this. Alright, now fly back to Mahogany Town. Oh yeah, we can also fly out to the Lake of Rage, which... It's quite rare that you're allowed to just fly out to a non-town location like that. So that's kind of neat. Also, yeah, I realized I forgot to do something at Cyanwood City, but I'll do that in a little while. After I'm done dealing with these guys. We can wrap that up, and then we can go take on the Ice-type gym. Does this way at least lead out? I didn't go that way because I didn't think it did. Okay, yeah, so we can go over here and go deal with this last security camera. Oh, they're pretty good. Oh, hey, did I forget to heal? I think I forgot to heal. Primer. Yeah, I'll start switching out and just sort of hope that I get Crobat. But more importantly, I don't know what more importantly, but yeah, it's the last of those fights. As you can see, they're basically all exactly the same. Switch, put that guy up front, and take this. And we'll give Kazooie the EXP share. Because, you know, our bird probably should get a little bit of ability to do something other than be a flybot. That seems like it would be kind of helpful. Yeah, we open up this door. Hold it right there, Buster. Which Pokemon is bullshit? The answer is yes. I mean... You had an accomplice? Where's your sense of honor? Looks at this entire crowd of Chucklefucks. No, the Pokemon that's bullshit is Tauros. So... Listen, it seems appropriate. Yes, they did, at least, like, in the flavor text, they're always like, oh, yeah, it looks different in every region, and then they stopped doing that after, like, Gen 3 or something. And they just literally all looked the same. I'm sure that at least 80% of that is because they decided not to use Arbok anywhere else. Because I'm sure people are like, Arbok isn't that good. You know, like a bunch of fucking weenies that they are. But, you know, Arbok is kind of cool. I like it. Arbok is a funny Pokemon on some level by virtue of being the only Gen 1 Pokemon back in Gen 1 that had either Wrap or Bind and Earthquake, except for like Onyx, I think. But Onyx doesn't do damage. It has an attack stat of like -5 or something. So who fucking cares about Onyx, really? Yeah, Arbok is obviously better than Sandaconda. I mean, that's not exactly a high bar, but you are correct. Maybe they should, like, give it another evolution. Or a Mega or something. I don't know. I'd like to see it be more usable. Listen, they gave Beedrill a Mega, so it's not necessarily impossible for them to be like, hey, yeah, by the way, people do actually kind of like Arbok. Oh, also, it's a Kanto Pokemon, so we all know how much the Pokemon Company loves jacking off Kanto, so, like, come on. It's free real estate, you idiots. Pretend that I can properly do an Alfred Eggman voice. So that way I can just be like, whenever I say, you idiots! Just pretend that I'm doing it like I just declared to Obama that I pissed on the moon. Wait. But yeah, Mega Beedrill is pretty baller. I agree with that. Mega Arbok is a Hydra. That's a distinct possibility. There's a couple of things you can do with it. I mean, although I'm thinking of, like, what could you do as, like, the next stage of Cobra after Cobra? Because obviously Arbok is going to always be distinctly associated with being a Cobra because, I mean, look at its name. Oh, I love Dunsparce for a wide variety of reasons. With at least one of them being the fact that it's very, very funny. And at least one more of them being... Oh, come on, dude. And at least one more of them being that there were a lot of people who were really convinced that Dunsparce needed this really over-the-top and completely baller evolution. Oh, that's stupid, and I love it as a result. But, like, a lot of people who were like, oh, yeah, so the Pokemon fan game, Pokemon Uranium, which is one that I have played before eons ago. I'm never going to replay that on stream if I can avoid it, because, ew. It's not a good game, folks. I apologize to anybody who likes it, but you're wrong. Yeah, I feel like I just keep roasting myself here. So, it had an evolution for Dunsparce that was called Dunserath, and it was a normal dragon type. This predates Drampa, BT dubs. And it was just like, hey, yeah, what if Dunsparce was a big, stupid dragon thing? And again, named Seraph, because they were like, oh yeah, we'll expand out its tiny little dork wings into these full-on angel wings. And it's like, you guys don't know shit about the Tsuchinoko in the first place, that, like, it's a goofy thing inherently. So, like, first of all, no, it doesn't matter what Dunsparce looks like in the first place. That is not a good choice for it. And secondly, Dunsparce is a goofball Pokemon even outside of that. So giving it, like, this hardballing, serious evolution is fucking stupid. Like, I get it, you don't have any taste, but you know what I never noticed is I never noticed anybody making these same kind of complaints about the similar goofball Pokemon that had a goofball evolution called Giraffarig. And Farigiraf, but But yeah, like, that was a clown Pokemon that had a clown evolution, and nobody seems to be, you know, mad about it. Somebody's bad fan art, however, and a bunch of fake fans will get all fucking aggrieved over the fact that Nintendo didn't use this supposedly superior fan design. Some of you might think that maybe I should dial back the vitriol, and you're probably correct, but I'll do that later. Anyway. We did get ourselves Whirlpool, which is one of the less useful TMs out there. But that's besides the point. We have defeated Team Rocket. They will never be important ever again, and I should just go the other way, you fool. We'll never see these guys ever again in the plot, and even the dudes from the fake shop cleared out. See, nothing to worry about. Nothing to worry about. I think the only other time that I saw anything to do with Pokemon Uranium in terms of any Pokemon leaks is I saw people who were trying to pass off one of the other Pokemon from that as being like an actual leak from, I think, Sword Shield era? Don't necessarily take my word for it on that part, but yes, there was somebody who was trying to claim that this, like, I think it was an electric rock type Velociraptor kind of Pokemon. It might not have been rock type, but it was, I'm pretty sure it was electric type, and it was a very Velociraptor-esque Pokemon that only barely had, like, the basic semblance of, oh, it has feathers on it. For the people who finally started to realize that feathered dinosaurs are actually cool and real. But somebody was trying to pass it off as a legit leak, and I was like, ah, yes, my one specialty, garbage! So that way I was able to specifically say, that's not legit, straight to somebody's face about that. Like, it's one of those, like, fold-up scooters, but it being a fully functional is outrageously safe. It's clearly like a, like one of those really intense folding bicycles, right? Like a Brompton brand or something. Bland, wow, okay, that's rude. I've seen those fucking things. Those are actually kind of cool. I wish I had the ability to ride a two-wheeler, but I don't have any sense of balance. Anyway, here we are at gym number oh, right, I have to actually go up the lighthouse. Never mind. We're not out of the time-wasting woods just yet, everybody. Yeah, I'm sure if I just talk to the gym guy, he'll, like, give me the badge for free. Dude, I'll even pay him. Come on, let me bribe you to get a free badge. I say free and bribe in the same sentence. Yeah, listen to me. It's alright. I'm pretty sure bribing a random dude to get a badge is how most police officers get employed nowadays. Wait. I'm just saying, I've seen how some of these folks handle themselves, and they're not good at it. Yeah, see, it has legs, dude. It's an idea. Yeah, I sure hope so, but, hooray, we saved Ampharos' lungs and other body parts. Jasmine is just like so many ellipses. Yeah, she is like... Listen, I feel that that's valid, but also There are so many other gym leaders in this region to be, like, have any negativity towards. Also, it won't take things from anyone but her, but is it her Pokemon or not? I mean, she obviously doesn't use it in the battle because it's not a Steel type, but, like... Yeah, and again, all of these... Oh, the type was only recently discovered things that every trainer says about Dark and Steel types. I hate to be the person who comes in here to talk about Pokemon canon, but that's directly contradicted. We do actually have a game that takes place in the past now, like, confirmably. So we can look at Pokemon Legends Arceus and we can be like, hey, there's Steel and Dark types and even Fairy types in Ancient Sinnoh. Like, Bullpucky, these are just recently discovered. What, did everybody get amnesia up until that point? Like, did we defeat Team Rocket in Gen 1 and it somehow created a wave of nobody fucking knows? Anyway, she sends out 2 Magnemites and a Neelix. This is not a hard fight at all, really. I mean, level 35 is a hell of a jump, but, like, again... The thing about Neelix here is that it's a decently defensive Pokemon, but it doesn't do much damage. Oh, also, if I recall correctly, it has Sunny Day in its move pool. So, if you're one of the people who entirely fairly... Yeah, look at this! Hey, did you pick Typhlosion? Do you want the battle to be easier? Because that's what you're gonna get! There are some problems with these games, to put it mildly, and a large part of it tends to come down to the battle design, is that, like, I love the region, I love the amount of content that's packed into this game. Being able to revisit Kanto is kind of fun in this sort of, like, nostalgia baiting kind of way. Back before they put Kanto in every Pokemon generation, so that way you wouldn't forget about Zubat. But 99% of the battles in this game are just designed like absolute flaming hot dog garbage. Like, wow, okay, you chose a Steel type that is weaker on its special defense side than its physical defense side, and you gave it Sunny Day. Like, okay, alright, sure! You are making Neelix look really, really bad. Somebody's gonna say something about Star Trek, and listen, I don't know about the characters Steelix on that series whatsoever. I'm running this joke into the ground like a complete person with no sense of culture or taste, but you better believe I don't know how to stop. God stole the handle and this train won't stop going. No way to motherfucking slow down. Where's my place that's gonna be even easier because it's an ice-type gym? Like, again, ice-type gyms are a very, very weird thing, right? Because freeze is quite debilitating. It's a thing that maybe you don't want to show players at Gym 3 or something, but also, like, putting it at Gym 7 is just how grotesquely worthless is this gym gonna be? And the answer is gonna be, I've seen worse, it could be at gym slot number 8, dude. At least this place has, like, a puzzle. Steelix sucks enough to Steelix. Well, I'm glad that the gag worked or something? I don't know. Listen, I'm bad at humor, so... Oh, hey, look. Seal. That's not actually an ice type yet. There's a lot of water types here, which is why it's good that we have both Thunder Punch and Fire Punch on the same Pokemon, who's going to probably kick this entire gym right in the proverbial dick. Oh, hey, Dugong. Do I have, like, a better Pokemon to deal with to, like, preserve some of those? Just to shuffle things up, yeah, and I've got a guy with Thunder Shock. Which is more than good enough at this point. Which generation will be brave enough to have the Ice Gym come first? Probably fan games, but those don't count. So, I don't have actually a good answer for you yet, unfortunately. Oh, hey, look, Aurora Ouch! Damn! That's pretty gross. It's okay, it can't freeze me, so, like, I don't care. But yeah, in terms of real games, that's a good question, Mega Man. Personally, I'm very much the sort of person who's like... Grundle or whoever it is versus... Grundle. Yeah, Grusha. Grusha, the gender fellow. This isn't supposed to sound as flippant as I made it, but unfortunately, I am just not capable of not making things sound assholey, I guess. Oops. It's a serious problem. So Lock-On isn't, like, super important to us, but we can get rid of Sonic Boom for it. Because we may end up learning a move that might want that at some point. Thunder is still technically a TM, in case you're an Imagine Dragons fan for some reason. I'm sorry, I just made myself puke a little bit. Not simply because Imagine Dragons, but because that song in particular is, like, bad. Not that I'm gonna be out here like, oh yeah, I definitely like and choose to listen to Imagine Dragons. I'm very neutral on, like, 99% of music that sounds, like, bad, but that one is just like, ooh, you've done everything wrong with the song I think you possibly could. Hey, wow, nice paralysis. That's more common than a crit, so yeah, Tav, shut up. Anyway, incredibly bad jokes aside, and even worse references. Yes, you can fight Grusha first if you take that route in Gen 9. See, I'm very much of the opinion that I don't particularly hugely like the style of arranging gyms where early gyms feel like difficulty selection, you know? Like, Gen 1 has Rock and Water as your first gyms, so it ends up like Bulbasaur's the easy mode, Charmander's the hard mode, and Squirtle is the in-between. I think it's, like, not bad, but I would much rather have it where it's like, okay, first gym or two even are neutral to any of your types. But also, I'm the sort of person who's like, nah, I could accept these games being a little bit more difficult. Make bugs strong. There are some bugs that are good, it's just that there aren't a lot of them. Like, they started making good bugs in Gen 5. They started making good bug moves in Gen 4, but they started making good bugs in Gen 5. Bug-type gym leader with shiny Genesect. Jeez, man, that's a little more firepower than is probably necessary. But, yeah, I mean, listen, Heracross and Pinsir have cool factor, but in terms of being, like, good, I don't 100% know about that. I mean, Heracross is a Pokemon that just mostly keeps getting better with age, but yeah, in Gen 5, they introduced Scolipede and Volcarona, both of which are extremely good. I also kind of love Dwebble for being, well, what it is. And its evolution Crustled, by the way. Joltik and Galvantula I do enjoy a little bit as well. Durant is weirdly good. Like, you'd probably be shocked to be like, oh yeah, this shitty metal ant that I encounter like a trillion of every time I enter Gen 5 Victory Road is actually kind of playable. Rabombi is a Pokemon that's not half bad. Golizopod would be cool if it didn't get switched out at the slightest provocation from its own ability. There's the Bug-type Ultra Beasts, but I don't think they count, really. Well, okay, that's not fair. They do count, but also they're, like, legendary tier stats, so going like, oh yeah, those are good seems a little bit too obvious to me. And Gen 9 introduces Low-Kicks. I mean, Low-Kicks is a pretty cool Pokemon. Yeah, Vikavolt isn't a bad Pokemon at all. That's a fun one to use. Admittedly, I don't use it a ton because it also moves at a speed of, like... Well, it's a Gen 7 Pokemon, so I think that says about as much as we need to know. Anybody who knows much about the Gen 7 Pokemon know that, like, all of them are slower than hell. Oh, now you're just being rude and wasting my time. In-game Protect is like... Oh. In-game Protect just is very annoying. Protect is a valuable thing for competitive Pokemon reasons. If you're the sort of person who's like, yes, I want to play competitive Pokemon, and also I want to play the official competitive format instead of Smogon singles, which obviously there are people who do that because the official format is, you know, is 2v2, bring 6, pick 4. And Protect and stuff like that are quite valuable there. But seeing them in-game, it's mostly just a thing that exists to raise your blood pressure. And I don't know that I need it. I can do that all on my own, right? I know how to scream at a television. Like an old person. Okay, so I'm trying to hash out how we get to Old Man Winter here. And there we go. This'll do it. Well, sir, all I can say is maybe standing on the ice tile is a bad idea, because, like, what if you have to step back or something because I've got a really big Pokemon? You'll go crashing right in that wall and break your various bones. So you know how... So we know how he suffered, yes. Yes, back in an era where, well, I guess we don't know a ton about the past of Johto. Like, obviously, Johto gets name-checked quite a lot throughout the franchise history. Because it has a connection to Sinnoh. And Valerie wears outfits that are very Johto-inspired. But, this guy definitely puts his entire email in the subject line. Nice. That's a good one. But ultimately, I'm not sure that we know a ton about the past of Johto itself, other than like, oh yeah, by the way, it's important to this other region. The one that we actually gave the lore to. Oh, oops. I did that thing again. Wow, good job, me. It's alright. We'll probably get Wing Attack eventually. Oh, hey, look at this thing and its tiny bead eyes that you can barely see. A lot of them, apparently, so that's all I can say on the matter, is... I'm very bad at this. Holy shit, you landed a blizzard. That's... incredible, and also you almost killed me with it. Wow. Jesus. Oh, I would have been salty as hell if it froze me. Easy, gym leader. But, like, wow, we did almost take a pretty big poke there. If he had froze me as well as everything else, I would have just been like, holy crap, dude, are you running red-green Blizzard? For those of you who are not super well-versed in a lot of weird changes in Pokemon, is that in Gen 1, one of the very few moves that have gotten nerfed in the middle of a generation is Blizzard. In Red-Green, not only did it used to be 90% accuracy, but it also used to have a 30% chance of freezing. On top of 120 base power, which they've nerfed since. Because, yeah, let's just kick all the legs out from under it. I feel like if they're going to ever give, like, the Kanto birds their own moves, as opposed to just what their Galar forms have, I feel like they should just bring back OG Blizzard as Articuno's move. And then, I don't know what you do for Zapdos and Moltres. You kind of don't, I guess. So, yeah, we don't get another flying-type move for Fearow until level 40. Even then, I mean, how much weight is it even pulling? It's mostly just been there to suck EXP. Which, sure, Tauros hasn't done a whole lot yet either, but I just got him. Like, what do you expect? The answer is, you expect something else. I'm thinking of getting a new party member, is what I'm saying here. Anything good in Route 44? There's Lickitung. I don't actually think that's a decent choice, unfortunately, but it is a thing that exists, that's for sure. Oh, jeez. I mean, I could go and headbutt for Apom or something, but there's really not a lot of good Pokemon to get out of headbutting. Yes, yeah, I told you were happy about that. Hopefully what Chris has to offer here. That, and I could go look for... I mean, I could get, like, Execute, Headbutting. That's certainly closer to a real Pokemon than Apom. Get a Firestone. Oh, that's... Ew. So, literally, I can't get that until, like, Kanto. So, I wouldn't be able to use Flareon, who's even, like, not the greatest choice out of any of those. God, why did they decide to make the Evolution Stone so hard to get? Like, what kind of complete ass-jack was just like, yes, this needs to be harder? Because I want to give that person the biggest swirly possible. Elf? Carrying room. Ah, yeah, see, here we go. Here's the mirror match for you. Looking for this move. I'd have to figure out how to actually get... I think if we just, like, surf around in the area, we can get to that and possibly go pick up that Moonstone. And then I guess we'd have a Nidoking. I think we can get decently easily. Just random rocks to evolve them into ghost type. Oh. 35 and 36. About 35. Yeah, okay, so I can go get that, and I can go get we can have a Nidoking, and we can have a good member of the party in place of this bird that I've ruined. Yeah, I think this is pretty much just like, hey, do you have Surf? We're right. Mostly I would just be picking it because it's kind of good and has a fairly varied moveset. I mean, ultimately it would end up being the same thing, wouldn't it? I guess I can just wait until I get the bird to level 40 to have Drill Peck. Be like, wow, I screwed that up. Good thing you're pulling your weight, champ. This is also why I'm going to move that down, so that way I get erased faster. Because I'll just mash through like an idiot, as usual. Yeah, I can do more damage with that, but of course... It's always kind of tough because, like, hey, you only get the one Earthquake TM because this game is rude as shit. I'll hash it out at some point. For now, we're just going to go this way, and we're going to go and... go check out the radio tower, because I understand that there's some problems going on here. And see, at least this guy has real goals, unlike Silver. Who's just like, I just want strong Pokemon because I'm too dull to come up with my own strategies. Sell that. Yeah, we're actually, like, we've got an amount of money that's more than 0, which is kind of a shock. By that, I mean, it's a pretty good chunk of cash, actually. So let's go deposit our PP restoration items because I'm way too much of one of those kind of players to actually use them. And the word there is stingy bastard. So yeah, those can go in there. Hey, I've got repels that I've never used. Those will probably only get used in like Kanto, where everything is stupidly low level. These are reasons. Insert PP into PC. That sounds like, there's a couple of different, like, strange jokes here that I can make about weeb things, I'm sure. But for now, let's just go fight some of these dudes who are like, oh yeah, we're gonna show everybody how tough and cool we are. But, Eradicate level 24, that's a real Pokemon. And by that I mean it's at a real level, too. Yeah, see, now that he knows that his rats are too slow for my big freaking crocodile. We can just do some surfing. Hey, do any of you have anything special to say? Why would they take over the radio tower? Well, you know, control of information. Right? Oh no, they're not doing anything that smart with it. They're just trying to call for Giovanni to help them because nobody in Team Rocket knows what they're doing anymore. They're all just out here running around like chicken guys with their heads cut off. Chicken guys, also known as chickens, right? You love being evil. Yeah, alright, dude. There you go. Well, I guess enjoying your work is probably a good idea. What's Team Rocket's deal in this game? They are basically trying to put themselves back together. You know, they're doing a little bit of petty crime and shit back in Azalea Town, and by petty crime, I of course mean horrible things to slowpokes. But I mean, their main goal right now, the reason why they've hijacked the radio tower is because they want to try to call to Giovanni, who has gone missing as far as they know. And go, hey, can you, like, get back here so that way we can actually do things? Because, you know, competency, not really their strong point, right? I mean, they took over a whole radio tower, but I don't think anybody here has a single Pokemon except for that Jigglypuff. So that's not really a show of strength or anything. You don't have to be a tactics whiz to get past a whole radio tower that's just got a single Jigglypuff. Media piracy and animal cruelty, yeah. You know, basic Team Rocket kind of stuff. They don't even run the fucking game corner in this game, dude. That's just a regular company doing shockingly above-board gambling kind of things. You know, by the standards of gambling, right? It's retreated to Mar-a-Lago for golfing, basically, more or less. But I don't know, that comparison is just like, I don't want to compare Donald Trump to Giovanni. Giovanni is too skilled to be, you know, that seems like a bit of an insult to Giovanni, which is a shock, really, but I digress. Giovanni wasn't like an impressive trainer in Gen 1, to be fair. He was a recurring boss, but still slightly mid. Which, you know, I'll compare, you know, comparing mid to that guy. But that's all right. I'm still kind of like, ultimately like, huh? Why is Giovanni a gym leader anyway? Like, does nobody at the upstairs in the Pokemon League know who this dude is? Maybe he signed up under a fake name. Or, you know, other falsified credentials. Malva, meanwhile, no falsification involved there. Everybody at the Kalos Pokemon League knows who she is. And they all support her work with Team Flare. But his picture is a question mark. You are correct. His picture is rendered as a question mark, at least on the trainer card, and I would assume in the manual, but I haven't looked at the manual for Pokemon Red and Blue in eons. What if Megan Kelly was in the Elite Four? Yeah, basically. Now that comparison I will accept fully, because, like, you know, She did want to murder us, so I think it's fair. Oh, hey, look, it's Muck, the sequel to Ekans and Arbok. And otherwise, not doing much until it gets its other form in Gen 7. One of those... one of those many poison types that just exists. And, unfortunately, not much more. It's terrible how Team Rocket is trying to control Pokemon. Yes, they've stuck a microchip in this cockroach Pokemon that does not exist yet. Streamer Pheromosa, shut up! I refuse! Oh, rude. He threw a Pokeball at me, but it was full of smoke pellets. Its vector just croaks from the secondhand smoke or something, I don't know. No, that'd be Giovanni, right? If they'd thought of it, they totally would have given Giovanni a cigar. In the Japanese version, at least. The US version, it wouldn't have been there, but I digress. And he's up on the 5th floor. That's a lot of floors. I guess we're only on floor number 3, so it's not that bad. Meanwhile, this guy's a scientist, which means that he's allowed to have real Pokemon, as opposed to just Rattata and Zubat. He is permitted variety. And by variety, I mean 3 Magnemites. Well, listen, at least it's a little bit of a break in the monotony of Team Rocket. Ah, who am I kidding? This guy is actually more monotonous than your average Team Rocket dude. Never mind. Yeah, you sure did, champ. I think it's you that's useless, and it's nothing to do with the Pokemans, buddy. Crush them with what? You don't look like you lift, so the show of physical strength that you would be involved in would not be very impressive, I don't think. Alright, let's do a little bit of rat removal here. I'm sure this thing will go that way. Yeah. Rattata, not exactly known for durability. Yeah, good luck, champ. Who is champ, etc. Oh, hey. Guess I pressed both those buttons at the same time there. Easy. Yeah, he actually managed to evolve one of his Zubats. I'm impressed. And here, oh, he's got a Porygon. Wow, I'm surprised. Like, I would not be expecting to see anybody with one of those. At all. But hey, that's neat. I don't think any trainers had Porygon in Gen 1. Wow, the double flinch. Oh. If I was this guy, I'd be so fucking furious right now. Like, come on, that does not happen to most people. Oh, hey, there's the director. Oh, no, he's screwing around. Right, because we have to go into the underground, so... Oh shit, this guy's got 6 Pokemon. Well, I bet they're gonna be shockingly whelming. Hey, Offing at level 30, so that's the part that surprised me a little bit. Try to attack and fail, yeah. Just... Yep. All those flinches. This guy just got 6 coughings. Well, guys, we found the 6-carp trainer, but he's using coughing for some reason. Sweet bears and balls. He's got a lot of balls to be trying to use this party on me. Oh no, he's got wheezing, so at least that's one more. Credit where it's due. That's right. 7 balls, everybody. He dares us to go rescue the guy. I mean, sure, that's a choice you can make, dude. Like, your Team Rocket agents, all of you are scrubs. I'm sure that this is a smart move that will in no way absolutely undermine your entire plan. This is why these dudes need Giovanni, by the way. Is like, they're just this incompetent. It's a bold strategy, Con. Let's see if it pays off for him. Yeah. Paid off for me, alright. I kicked his entire ass in. Like, wow. And you are out of here, etc. Oh, he's blocking the way. Coughing up blood, yes. See, now I gotta figure out how I'm gonna get to... Is this the other underground entrance? Yes, okay. Yep. Use it on there because it's not automatic. Oh. What the fuck are you doing here, dude? Oh, that was just a fluke. Yeah, dude, I beat you before. That doesn't even begin to describe it. I've whooped your ass like 4 times already, dog. Come on. And you think you're gonna fight Team Rocket with your shitty fucking Golbat? Streamer, you haven't shut up. Oh, he's got wing attack, so at least something learns that. That's good. Yay! Vector to level 33. Excellent. About to use a Magnemite. That's a Pokemon you could use if for some reason you haven't evolved it yet. Oh no, it's level 28. I was gonna say if you haven't evolved it yet at level 30 for some reason, but never mind. Fine, you win this round, dickhead. But not the Pokemon battle, that's for sure. About to use Sneasel. Now, that's a little unfortunate because we don't have fighting moves on our team yet, but we can also just beat the heck out of it the normal way, because Sneasel doesn't have a whole lot of defense. It's got speed, it's got physical attack, which is a bad thing for it to be optimized for in this generation, but I digress. Like, it doesn't have much special attack, if I recall correctly, so that only did, like, 12 damage, which, for being almost on the level with me, is kind of not a lot. Like, okay, it's fast, but so is a lot of things. Yeah, because they fucked up spelling the other version of Feint, F-E-I-N-T. Because of reasons. Alright, he's sending out Meganium. That's fine. I think Kazooie can at least, like, put a big dent in this thing because of type advantage. Yeah, especially if it's just gonna, like, waste time with poison powder and stuff. Oh, boy, that's a sequence of events that actually is, like, making me eat my words before I get them all out. Reflect. Okay. Fun. That's going to make this a little bit less doable with this Pokemon. And we got paralyzed for our trouble. Excellent. Well, that's fine. These things happen. Let's switch out. Because I know someone who can deal with this quite easily. Unless he has Light Screen, which would make things a little bit more irritating. Now, just don't paralyze me or I'll be very sad. No, we're getting away with it. And I didn't press the right move. Oops. Well, I got what I deserved there. Never mind, so much for dealing with it easily. I'm too stupid to play video games. Well, I'm gonna pretend that it ate one of my inputs and I didn't just not press the button enough times. It's alright, Vector's got this. Just, yeah, throw out that crit Ice Punch. And of course our starter can deal with his only good Pokemon, right? Obviously. And he's got Haunter, that's kind of another good Pokemon. But it is made of paper, so I'm perfectly willing to throw Supersonic out there to do some damage to it. Reflect is worn off, so that's fine. Because we wouldn't have to worry about that anyway. Yeah, Shadow Ball, are you sure about that, dude? I mean, it does okay damage, but, like, this is not the generation you want to be doing that with right now. Mean look. Okay, nice waste of a turn, bozo. Especially because apparently he doesn't carry healing items, which, I mean, that tracks, but also, you idiot! I assembled the toughest Pokemon. Didn't evolve his Haunter. Like, okay, he's too much of a... He's too much of a chode to actually evolve a Pokemon by happiness, but, like, come on. At least go ambush some random child and be like, help me evolve my Haunter! Because I assume that's how he would do it, by the way. Like, just go find this Duckbill kid in the Pokemon Center. He's even got a Game Boy already, so, like, he should be able to trade. Oh well, it's his fault for being bad at video games. Off we go. And here's where we start fighting the goons. And that does sound like a gooner thing to... Oh. No, sorry, that's supposed to be goon, not... Oh. Yeah, I know, right? That's why he is garbage and why I'm making extra shit talking about him. Fuck this guy. Well, I guess he probably, like, thought that this was going to be a job that much more suited his level of edge. But, right, this is a Switch puzzle room. I thought this was just a, like, get a key card or something kind of maze, because I forgot it's part of the game. And hey, look, everybody, it's come again. You might say that he's pulling a comeback, right? Streamer, don't call it that. Didn't you hear that guy before? Oh. Yeah, see, you get it. See, this guy gets it. Oh, this guy apparently will tell us the answer to the puzzle. I'll be able to hash this out myself badly, so don't worry, dude. Wow. Okay, chat. Okay. Oh. I'm glad all of you are like this. Okay, so let's try to figure this out. And by that I mean ultimately brute force things, basically. Okay, switch 1 turns on, and that lets us go in here. That's shockingly easy so far. I'm sure I'm going to need to have switch 2 on at some point, but I'll deal with that later. The prices are still too high right now. I mean, can you believe they want $500 for a video game system and a Mario Kart? Like, come on. Oh, this guy is like bright green. What's your deal, fella? Oh, it's a burglar. I gotcha. Who just also is neon green for some reason. Deals uranium, yeah. He ate some of the forbidden candy. And now he's just like bright green. Yo, bullshit to level 28. Excellent. This is some bullshit. And we got ourselves another coughing because, yeah, ultimately, this guy is using Pokemon Mansion Pokemon, so coughing is obviously in his set of dudes. Instead of something like, I don't know, Magmar, that would at least be interesting. We did already have somebody who had ass face anyway, so, like, maybe it's not that interesting. That's fair. I'm sort of turning into one of those people who's like, I can't bear to get rid of my video games anymore, so I probably would not consider surrendering the Switch 1 for the Switch 2 or for otherwise. But I'm also not particularly looking at a Switch 2 for the foreseeable future. Not yet, anyway. Like, maybe at some point, maybe if the prices come down, maybe if there's more games that would interest me. If I was gonna get any sort of, like, video game hardware in the future, I think the first one that I would aim for would likely be a Steam Deck. But even then, I'm also kind of like, what the fuck would I do with a Steam Deck? Yeah, no, that's quite reasonable, and that's something I do not disagree with. You know, modern games on non-PC platforms are, you know, not really amazing. And I say non-PC platforms not because, like, oh, yeah, you know, I don't want to turn into one of those PC Master Race kind of people, but ultimately, a big part of it is like, hey, yeah, indie games primarily exist on PC as opposed to elsewhere. And I think that the independent gaming space is doing a lot more than most of the big wheels are. You know, like, wow, okay, I can play my exclusives from the Xbox on... Oh, wait, no, all those are on PC as well. Never mind. Good fucking work there, Microsoft. Oh, I can play all of my exclusives from the PlayStation 5... Oh, right, PS5 has no games. Never mind. Never mind. I mean, that's not literally true, obviously. PS5 does have a video game or two, and I'm not counting stuff that's ported from PS4. But yeah, needless to say, there's not a ton of stuff in, like, modern console space that is of great appeal to me. And personally, I do prefer running things on real hardware where possible. But I'm not here to be like, oh yeah, you have to run your stuff on the actual hardware. I just have sort of a preference for it as a rule, especially with more modern stuff, because it's like, I want to be sure that it's doing the exact thing that it should be doing, right? If I'm gonna gripe about anything to do with real hardware, it's that angle of be absolutely sure that it's operating properly. All right, dude, you have a hint supposedly. Change the order of switching. That'll change the shutters open and close. I mean, okay, so I actually don't 100% know how this operates then. So it's a little bit more intensive than just what it was looking like before. That's good to know, I think. Anyway, yeah, no, I think that a Steam Deck would be, like, a little bit more of interest to me than a Switch 2 at this point. Even though a couple of streams ago I was like, the Steam Deck is, you know, not necessarily as all that as everybody wants you to believe it is. But I certainly feel that I would put it to more use, if only just to play certain things that are PC-based without having to scare my PC any. And there's some stuff that would be nice for portability. I mean, I already have Balatro on Switch, so I don't need it for that, that's for sure. And at least Pokemon games are always portable to begin with. Like, I'm surprised that they haven't made one that's, like, a home console exclusive yet by accident, outside of the Ore games, but those don't count. That also sounds like entirely a fair thing. Steam Decks do ultimately sort of sit at this weird place of like, oh, well, this sounds cool. Unless you're a person who just does not have a good PC, in which case, well, that's a little bit different. Right now, I'm not, like, super into a period of purchasing Pokemon cards unless I can find an IRL group that I've, like, vetted very well to be like, hey, yeah, none of you people are freaks. Because I feel like I don't want to settle anymore for shit like that. And, you know, what I'm saying is that fascists and similar right-wing extremists don't deserve to have friends. Right? You don't deserve how cool I am. So, I'm not going back to the group that played in the back of the card shop that I used to, where you'd have a dude who showed up like once every 2 months or so, who had a Deus Vult tattoo on his arm, and he carried around a bootleg playmat with this art of Chandra and Liliana making out. And it was very bootleg on this level of like, okay, not only is this Steve Argyle art that you've got on here, but also it has an Ultra Pro logo on it, which obviously it was not made by Ultra Pro at any point. And this dude also wanted to be a pro player. And like, obviously I'm not going to drop the hammer on anyone who has like art of 2 female characters, you know, doing the Yuri shit, and it's not about that. And it's not even necessarily about the fact that he's a dude, but once you put all of that together, and this guy is enough of a sweaty person in terms of the player style, and also the fact that he's a guy with a Deus Vult tattoo, like, dude, it is current year argument. I last saw him in, like, 2019. So I can't say it's the year of our Lord 2025. It was the year of our Lord 2019. But, like, my guy, you can't not know what that is. So if you were going to be aggrieved about me being sus about him, obviously I never brought this up to him because, like, hey, I never saw it. And B, I don't want to start fights in the back of a random card store. And, you know, I'm rather a doughy, pacifistic individual, so I would not win that fight. Not that this dude was, like, particularly swole or anything that I can recall. I mean, he was probably, like, average build, you know, probably. But, like, I don't want to start fights that I can't win, and I don't want to start fights to begin with. Like, it sort of is a double thing there of like, hey, yeah, that's... I'd get my ass handed to me if I told him, like, dude, that's fucked up, and you know, I didn't even have, like, any of the temerity to bring this up to anyone else who was around there. I didn't talk to the guy who ran the shop, because obviously that, you know, I don't want to start that kind of argument, or not the guy who was a actual magic judge or anyone else like that. I kind of also didn't want to find out that people were fucking worse in that group than that, right? Like, I didn't want to be like, hey, yeah, it's not just the Nazi bar level from the type of people who, you know, will bring out that version of the dialogue as like, hey, I didn't want to know that it was just one, right? Unless you have reason to believe otherwise, you think he's just into Assassin's Creed / Knights Templar shit. Yeah, I mean, that's always sort of like the other part of things, is like, it's very unfortunate how many hobbies and stuff in general have this level of, like, big Nazi infiltration. Oh, hey, that TM is Sleep Talk. That's a fun move, but it's not really very useful for us. I'm gonna pause for a second so that way I can actually concentrate on saying this, is that, like, it's always very hard with a lot of that stuff because, like, heavy metal groups, obviously, you know, there's a lot of, like, you know, far out there, like, black metal kind of shit, and folk metal, and dudes who are, like, a little bit too into, you know, like, Celtic or Nordic runes, usually more the Nordic ones in this case, that are a little bit like, you know, is somebody out here who's got a picture with Odin on it on his t-shirt, is this guy just really into, like, Skyclad or whatever? Or is he actually a, you know, a would-be Hitlerite, right? I say would-be because can you really be a Hitlerite when Hitler is dead? But I digress. You know, you can be a Nazi, but that's a little, you know, being specific, right? But yeah, typically the dudes who get that stuff inked on them, that's a little bit more concerning. But just in general, it's like, wow, so many things that have this issue, just in general. And, like, 40k is another one. I've actually known a couple of people who don't suck who are into 40k, and I've seen video of people who I would certainly hope don't suck who are hanging out doing 40k stuff. But also, like, 40k... Games Workshop has to keep reminding people that 40k is satire. So... Yeah, no, I would certainly be a little bit wary of that dude. Of just, like... Yeah, I think that's probably about it. Maybe it's also because, like, 40k is one of those things where... Okay, for Magic, if you're at a Commander pod, you could be coming in with just a precon. And I remember when Commander precons, you could buy those for $30. Not that I'm not tempted to look for one again, BT dubs, but I'm sure that most of the ones that I'd want, which would be like Windgrace and stuff like that, would be a little bit costly. Although maybe not Windgrace, he is black, so they might... Okay, now I'm being extremely mean. I apologize. But yeah, like, 40k is expensive to get into even for just, like, entry level. It's conspicuous consumption on its own, sort of. You can't not look like a bit of a tool by playing it in general, and that sort of engenders a lot of, like... I would assume that the average of the 40k fan base, like, if you put... everybody who plays on a serious level, and also all the people online who are fans, the online people will pull the average down a little bit, right? In terms of net worth kind of thing, which in general does tend to lead people to be less slimeball. Oh, right. I forgot about the starter precons in general. I did not remember that there's, like, Commander starter precons. I'm a buffoon! But yeah, there's definitely a couple that would be of, like, significant interest to me. Like I said, I do love Lord Windgrace. I mean, first of all, yet another Catman. God, I really do like the Catman as, like, my favorite Magic characters, apparently, because it's like, hey, yeah, a Johnny and this dude. I mean, that's slightly overstating it, because it's, like, just those two. But I do also... In addition, there's also, you know, other characters that I like who aren't those dudes. Obviously, like, Ral Zarek is a good example. He's not a cat. He turns into an otter in that one set recently. And I think that's a choice, all right, but I won't grind my heel too much on the fact that they decided, hey, yeah, the guy who's already otter parentheses gay archetype became an otter parentheses literal. Because also, I'm always okay with more Ral Zarek content, and also Bloomburrow did kind of whip. Like, I think that out of the sets that they've released since March of the Machine, Bloomburrow probably is, like, the coolest and best concept and choice there. But of course, you did have the bit of the problem there that, like, after Lost Caverns, you had 2 sets in a row that were just like, here's your favorite characters with funny hats. And then they had Duskmourn and another set that was, here's your favorite characters with funny hats. I'm at least willing to, like, look the other way on Edge of Eternities, even though a lot of people have been very... very, like, pre-angry about Edge of Eternities, because everybody's just like, oh, well, Jason a spacesuit. I mean, listen, I don't think that there's no place for the kind of science fantasy that exists there, because that was the first big story arc, too! It wasn't space travel, but... Oh, god damn it, I'm sorry. I just whacked my mic arm. But, like... Dude! They had fucking power armor in the invasion block. There was literally, I think, a card called Powered Armor or something. Like, it's not that far a cry, and also the aesthetic, in theory, does fit with a lot of Magic's major inspiration. I think that sci-fi Magic is fair. I do not jive with the idea, because my opinion on fantasy at large is fantasy can be anything but now. And that's why I think Duskmourn sucks the chrome off of a 57 Chevy bumper. Because Duskmourn made the critical error of being too specifically modern. Etherdrift's problems is being, you know, a joke set, so more or less. Tarkir Dragonstorm does seem like it kind of fucks a little bit. I actually feel very positively about Tarkir Dragonstorm for anybody who wants to say anything about that. I do not dislike Tarkir Dragonstorm. I think it's a pretty good idea. I don't like all the plot arc, personally, because I think that the plot aspect of, God, how did it go? It's like Jace and the crew barge into the meditation realm, and his whole thing was like, oh, I'm going to rewrite history so that way Phyrexia doesn't happen, because I'm sick of how the multiverse keeps getting... It's like, I think that's a little bland. The actual killer for me, though, is the part where Nicol Bolas escapes. Like, it just sort of has this tone of, like, how they shoved Emrakul into the moon on Innistrad, so that way it's like, oh yeah, by the way, this is actually still just kind of in our back pocket for one day when our sales numbers get too crap, sort of thing. And some people will be like, oh, you're being a little cynical about that, and I don't necessarily disagree, but it does sort of feel that way. And I don't think that WotC has really shown us that there isn't a reason to be cynical once in a while about them, right? But yeah, Ether Drift actually had some good cards, if I recall correctly, so, like, I can't necessarily talk shit there. Yeah, no, I do at least like that they... When it comes to character deaths, obviously, it's sort of like, kind of scattershot. I'm not going to say one definitive statement on that as a concept. I like the fact that Ajani lived, but also I'm a fan of this one particular character. And quite a few others, but especially this one. I don't like the fact that they also were like, oh, by the way, Jace is fine, and so is Vraska, and they just kind of... It felt a little bit like an ass pull, very specifically, that particular way of it happening. Especially after the fact that the story behind Ajani actually surviving was actually good. Like, most of March of the Machine and All Will Be One are kind of derided for a lot of reasons. But I think, bringing back Zolfir by having it swap places in the multiverse with New Phyrexia was good. But that's mostly because I want a Zolfir set now. And I know that it's not going to happen, so I'm already, like, pre-angry a little bit. But I digress. Gags aside, the other part of it was the sequence where, like, Karn had to give up his spark and Melira had to die in order to revive Ajani. And they also had, like, a whole sequence where Koth was, you know, kind of being a little bit up his own ass about the fact that, like, oh, well, they're giving this guy all the spotlight. What about me? My world got eaten. And it's like, I mean, yeah, actually, I kind of get that. There's, like, a real bit of emotion to it. And then Jace getting mysteriously healed because his mom is somehow, like, actually that strong of a healer. It feels like it kicks the legs out from underneath it a little bit. Which is kind of a shame, because it's like, hey, that was the one good thing you had in that story, and you just ruined it, you fools! But yeah, no, Bloomborough is definitely the highlight of the last couple of years. And I am desperately hoping that we do get some other good stuff in some of the upcoming story. Like, I had completely forgotten that the plot is supposed to be building up to something about the Fomori. Because even though they've been in the background of, like, so many sets that, like, oh yeah, there's a little bit of this in the, excuse me, a little bit of it in the background of Lost Caverns. Oh, there's a little bit of it, you know, technically it's the vault. Loot is always there and is apparently a baby Fomori. But, like, I just forgot about it entirely as a concept because they kept getting distracted by a bunch of other weird shit, and, like, you had the Ether Spark or whatever it was called in Ether Drift. And there was this big build-up around Valgavoth of, like, oh yeah, he's like the biggest, nastiest sumbitch that the universe has right now. Also, he can't go anywhere because he doesn't have a spark. Or, like, it would help him or something. And it's like, I thought for a second, I got distracted by that, and I thought that that was going to be the big plot. Was going to be, like, he comes out of the mansion and goes trying to beat people up. But I don't believe that to be the thing. I think that's maybe gonna come up later. And the Fomori are the actual plot, I believe. But yeah, loot does kind of suck. I like the thing you said months ago, where you said that he looked like he was AI generated, and ultimately I think that's kind of the case. Do you get anything good in this game if you win the lotto? I think you get a Master Ball, but I don't recall. I will take a look and see if I can find a little info about that real quick. Yes. So for matching the last digit, oh no, that's only in Heart Gold, Soul Silver. Never mind. If you match last two digits, you get a PP up. For 3 or 4, you get an EXP share, and for matching the entire ID, you get a Master Ball. So that's interesting. I mean, calling it good might be overselling it a little bit, but like, it's definitely... It's a thing that exists. They'll vanquish Valgaboth by having something stupid like Quintorius do a fatty fall down and go boom on him. Unfortunately, the quality of writing at WotC does seem like that might actually be where it is. But I've sort of shared what the idea that I wanted for it, and like, wow, Wade actually remembered to call. Amazing. Like, if I was going to be the director here, which that would never happen, because I also would just be like, okay, we've had a whole block of this. We're going to go do something a little bit more fun. So, who's ready for a year of Ashnod? And I'm pretty sure that, like, somebody at Wizards would just kill me, right? I have no taste, and I do not apologize. But yeah, like, the thing that I said about it was like, okay, yeah, so the ether spark gets stolen, they retreat to space. Somehow it gets shoved into Marina, so that way Valgaboth can be like, yes, I'm big and powerful and can take over the universe. Except that he's a demon, so he's not allowed to. Because he's not Ob Nixilis, I guess. I forget about Ob Nixilis a lot, but like, he used to be a human, so maybe he's grandfathered in this case. But basically it just ends up like, Marina ends up with the spark instead, and she takes control and actually gets to do cool things. And then Jace continues to stay unmade. I mean, no, that's just rude. That's unnecessary, streamer. You're correct, but that's true of a lot of things. Like race cars. I mean... See, from a story perspective, Ether Drift bugs me not just because they decided to do wacky races, but it's, you know, the Magic universe, and apparently didn't give us a Dick Dastardly for some reason. But also because there's a lot of, like, really cool shit in the background of Ether Drift. Like, Amonkhet reviving itself. Or Avishkar taking back control from the consulate and renaming themselves from the plain word that was ultimately actually slurs. And they didn't do any of those things as the main story. Instead, they were like, yes, everybody really wants to see stock car racing instead, with a spark as a trophy, because apparently these aren't valuable anymore because of the Omen Paths, which they're calling this 3-year story arc the Omen Path cycle or something. That kind of suggests to me that the end of this story arc is going to be they close again. Which I don't know if I like from a story perspective, but if it means more like isolated stories, that might have its value. But yeah, no, the writing team doesn't know what they're doing. I'll just say it that way. I won't even be nice about it. They straight up fucking don't know what they're doing. Sounds like they need some... Shut up! Stop that! I'd ask why you insist on bringing that up, but they did just have a Final Fantasy crossover set, so... A Final Fantasy crossover set that completely leaves out all of the spin-off games and side stuff, which is interesting. So there's Final Fantasy 13 cards, but nothing from any of the sequels. And not that I'm about to be like a person who seriously would stump for like representation of fucking Lightning Returns or something, but it's very odd because that is actually a big part of the Final Fantasy universe, multiverse, is all these spin-offs and things. They do exist. Santa? And apparently, according to this set, they don't. Very bizarre. But, whatever. There's a card for Yuna, but it's FF10 Yuna. I don't think Riku has a card. Pain obviously doesn't. No equipment shorts. Yeah, no, that's not in there. They don't have the weird Gatling gun snake monsters from 10-2 either, which those existed. Oh, she does? I must have forgotten. There's a lot of cards in there, so I don't remember a lot of them. They didn't give a lot of cards for FF5 is the thing that I remember, which makes me a little bit sad. I overall have a very positive perspective on Final Fantasy V, just in general. So, you know, rip, I guess. Maybe you put one or more counters on a creature and blocked by creatures your opponents control. That is actually really good. Move a counter from creature target opponent's controls. That's fun. You can just, like, steal abilities with that, which I think is great. Speaking of steal ability, there's nothing from any of the tactics games, which is kind of sad. I'm not, like, a huge FF Tactics buff, but I played the hell out of Tactics Advance when I was a kid, so I do kind of miss not having anything related to that. I assume 10-2 is popular because of its status as an adjunct to FF10, which is also very popular. I mean, FF10 is, like, excruciatingly polarizing, which is kind of silly, but yes. Wow, you didn't kill that thing. Good work, Kazooie. Although I guess Tangela actually has a defensive profile, if I recall correctly, so maybe I shouldn't be that, like, what the fuck about it. But yeah, no, 10-2 definitely has, like, actual fans. Which is probably a little silly. The gameplay of 10-2 is fine. The rest of the things around it, though, you know, my question here is, like, what percentage of the audience are gooners, but I digress. Yeah, we already purged the poison, don't worry. It's over. You can uncover your eyes. You're not going to get Electric Soldier Porygoned. God. Then Tav posted the alt art Lord Windgrace. That's real good looking. I forgot about that, but it's also a secret lair card, so who's surprised that I remember it? Fisher Edgar Markov. Oh god. He'd be strong as fuck then, but yeah, that secret lair. God, $67. I am not buying that. Like him, but I'm not like a CEO or a police officer or something. Anyway, Link for anybody who hasn't seen it. It's adorable. And I think he's just a fun dude to play. Like, I remember building out the pre-con that he came in originally, and just being like, this has been extremely fun to build up and play with. No idea yet, but I don't know when I'll get around to Zelda 1 rando. Proxy, yeah, that's true. And I guess, again, if the main play group is like untap.in, or I think Moxfield lets you play as well, or stuff like that, then proxies are not even a thing I have to worry about, because it's all digital at that point, baby. But yeah, that'll be from the Bloomborough one, I think, where it's... No, actually, it's not. Never mind. That's from a separate, cat-themed one, I think. Yeah, it was from just one of the cat-related secret lairs before that. I am put on my robe and wizard hat. Right. Oh, you whirlwinded me, you jerk. It leads to it. Oh, yeah. They are coming for you and your money. That's gonna be rough, Roundy. If it were to happen. Right, the Bloomborough ones were listed in the commander list, I think. Yeah, Karn as a tree. That art is really funny. That's entirely fair. Oh yeah, Frog Nissa. I forgot about Frog Nissa in that set of cards. I'm going back to heal again anyway, because really. Cheap. FF9 Magic cards. Yeah, there's some stuff in the in the Final Fantasy expansion for FF9. The Final Fantasy MTG expansion. There is a card for Steiner, and that's like right at the top of the set. There's I think a couple of the summons have FF9 incarnations specifically. Garnet has a card. Garnet's card is pretty fun. Stillskin is in there. Yes, Vivi. Vivi is the one who's like... God, I think Vivi is still like over $50 for a single copy, because not only does everyone love him, but his card is sick as hell. Like, it's a really strong card. I'm pretty sure Knuckles doesn't have a card. I don't seem to recall there being a card for Knuckles, anyway. Zidane has one. I don't believe Arc is even in there. I think it's just more of the the, like, quote-unquote standard, well-known summons, unfortunately. Like, there's a couple of like, oddball summons that aren't as well-known, but usually that's stuff from, like, FF7. So they've got, like, the Fat Chocobo from 7, they've got Chocomog from 7. Unfortunately, no Arc as far as I can recall, and haven't scrolled past while I was looking through the list again. But they did make a card for Choco, who's the rideable Chocobo from 9. And it's a good enabler for like a deck that's based around mostly bird creatures. So if you want to play a deck that's just like birds typal, that's a pretty good leader for it. And birds as a creature type, there's like a ton of good birds out there, so it's actually a very solid choice. Yeah, so whenever I actually get around to building any of that stuff on any of those sites, Choco is definitely going to end up being my main Bant commander, I think, because, yeah, like, that's just fun. Plus, you know, birds finally getting some more respect than just, Kangi, I think? I think it was Kangi who was the previous, like, one commander that birds had. Maybe Commander Taro or something? Commander Isha. No, Commander Isha wasn't really a support. Like, there's plenty of good bird creatures, obviously, as I've made clear. But, yeah. In terms of any sort of leader who's like a specific typal support, that's a little bit more of a crusty thing. New Abzan deck from... I don't 100% remember what all is in there. Oh, it's Wall Kindred. That's pretty neat. And yeah, having that in Abzan as opposed to... Well, Arcades would probably have been the big one before. I mean, there's a couple other options that you could use, like... Pramicon is not bad for it. But Pramicon doesn't really have direct support. Pramicon has one very big thing, though, that is nice for walls, which is adding red. Because then you can have Vent Sentinel as one of your creatures, and I'm pretty sure... I think Vent Sentinel is any target, if I recall correctly. Fuck it, I'm gonna go look. Target player or planeswalker. Okay, so close enough. But yeah, I mean, with the right build there, you can just be like, okay, yeah, Vent Sentinel blows somebody up every turn. And I think that's kind of fun. And it gives your creatures backbone. Hex, so they didn't have defender. Yeah, so it's assault formation mostly. Second of the creature, draw cards equal to that. Oh, that's pretty cool, actually. I like that a lot. But I'm not sure I like as much our slidey puzzles. I'm not good at this sort of thing, really. Okay, I see what the solution is. I just have to actually get into a position where I can make this happen, Cap'n. Yeah, so you just fumble around and eventually you'll get it. And there's our waterfall HM. We got HM06 earlier, I believe, so we can deal with that part of proceedings as well. Great, I love having worse surf and also whirlpool, which is not good either. I'll have to find somebody else to be my mule for those. Oh, yeah, that's pretty solid. Take a look at some other stuff that's in this deck. Although I'm just looking at the thing on Scryfall as opposed to pulling up a deck list. Oh yeah, I can't electrocute this thing, actually. Right, Shazam, you haven't done much in a minute, so... Life you gained this turn. And Baitor is interesting. Let's roll down the multiplier. Section. I hope they're printing Arcane Signet in like all of these now, because that feels like a thing that you need for anything of this sort. That's good. So I remember when that came out and it was only in, like, the Brawl decks for Throne of Eldraine or something. And it was a price that was best described as fucking stupid. So, yeah, yeah. Ooh, they got Dragon Lord Dromoka in there. I mean, I feel like I'd be shocked if they didn't have Dragon Lord Dromoka in there, but that's a really good, fun card for reasons of if you're a sicko who plays Control. Which sometimes I am, just not always. Yeah, it was not great. I was not a big fan of that. Sidar Kondo is... Absent Ascendancy in here? It probably should. No, it doesn't look to. Huh. Ulfanor's Urn is definitely... Right? Oh, fun. They put Staff of Completion in one of these decks. Proliferate. That does seem like it could kind of fit in Abzan, because they love counters. I'd have to pull up the full actual list to be able to really say things about it, because, yeah. Hey, just popping in. How are ya? I hope you're having a good evening. I am in the middle of a boulder puzzle because we didn't have enough fun with those in this franchise back in the land of Seafoam Islands. I was like, where was it? Oh, right, it was Seafoam Islands. I remember now. Where we found the big blue chicken. A completely different game. This is a fair way to do this, right? Wrap around, I think. Oh, we do still get encounters in here. I was like, are there none in this room or something? Did they drop the encounter rate down? They would never do that. That would be silly. Oh, yeah, I probably didn't, but... You know. Strange dream. First from a Walmart, then a movie theater, then a mall. Then someone was strangling you in the seas. Ooh, that's... Well, that escalated. That's all I can say there is, woo, that's... That went a place, alright. Ah, yes, Swine Up. I, once again, cannot do much there. Oh, right, Artoros is level 32, so I could probably take the EXP share off of bullshit and put it somewhere else. Somewhere a little bit more useful, hopefully. To get a couple of our party members a little more leveled up. But yes, we have 7 badges, by the way, folks. Reiterating this for anyone who's not aware. As you see, our current levels and the level of the wild Pokemon, well, ultimately that part is a little bit less weird, I suppose. I'm gonna feed this rare candy to someone real quick. Yeah, give that to our Golbat, and no evolution. Dang. Oh well. Because I needed the item space for reasons of weird game mechanics. And there we go. Yes, our levels are quite low. I can't say much about wild Pokemon levels being that sort of thing, because you can find wild Pokemon as low as level 26 in Victory Road in Gen 1 for some reason. Still one of the more baffling occurrences to do with Gen 1 that doesn't have to do with using counter. Because, yes, that's just a whole big mess of weirdness. Get ourselves a full heal. Those are always nice to have. Oh, I don't have Rock Smash on anybody in my party, and I don't want to waste that per se. Oh, we don't have to worry about that. It's a Never Melt Ice. I can't carry any more items, though. Hooray. One second, just moving around here. Okay. I will give this to Shazam. I don't probably need Never Melt Ice, but I'll take it anyway. All it does, for those of you who are not that well versed in this era of Pokemon, it boosts your Ice-type moves by, I think, 10% in this generation. They later would buff all of the type booster moves to 20%, so I remember that. Okay, so if I want to get there, let's go down here. TM 44. Don't know what that is offhand. Let's see. It's rest. I don't think resting in the ice cave is necessarily a good idea, guys. And others. Found a protein. That's free money if I can find a place for it. Oh, we've had, like, so few encounters. I'm just going to use the repel because it will change nothing. I know, right? There's so little going on here. We got into, like, 4 fights in this entire dungeon. And it is a place of some actual length, so it's kind of weird. Ooh, PP up. That's actually good. That's a thing we definitely want. So let's give the smoke ball. Put it here just in case. They're kind of underwhelming, that's for sure. Like, they gave you the elemental punches instead of Ice Beam and its siblings. Why? And then there's just a couple other moves that are just kind of garbage that are in here and there. Like, how much are folks going to use Fury Cutter? Come on. Oh, this guy's just telling us about the fact that Indigo Plateau exists. Is there anything nice to shop? I do have at least an item to offload here, though, so at bare minimum, we've got that going for us, which be that thing. Do you at least sell Ultra Balls yet, buddy? I mean, I don't think we're going to need them too much, but I'll take a few anyway. I'm probably, like, obliged to catch legendary Pokemon. Not necessarily by the game, but just by virtue of, like, you should. So I may have to pick up more instead because, hey, yeah, they didn't invent legendaries having acceptable capture rates by this point yet, so. Anything to dump in here? I think we've got like a Max Ether or something. We don't. My inventory is just clogged as hell because there's so many status recovery items. But I can store the Nevermelt Ice. And I guess I can finally go upgrade my complement of healing items. And just be like, hey, yeah, I've got berries and full heals. Because they got full heals here, right? They sure do. You can just buy 99, and we'll never need any more after that point. How many do I have in my inventory? Let's go check that, because I've got a couple. I got 5, so I guess we're buying 94. Because you know what? The hell with it. I will buy that many, just in case. I may get status a lot in battle. If nothing else, it's pre-gaming for the Elite Four, because that's a case when you'll definitely want them. Yeah, status effects are much more of a pain in the ass than damage in this game, really. So let's just start dumping our other status items other than the berries. The berries can stay. We can, you know, send those around as necessary. Especially the Bitterberry, because that does something kind of unique. Yeah, so I'm probably not going to need to buy large amounts of any of the underwhelming TMs in this game, so I'm not concerning myself with that. We just healed, but as is tradition for the wrap-up, we do this right before we save.